Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Monday night Jeunesse Global Success Team Training Call. My name is Rob Pottles, and we are starting. What I want to cover with you tonight is, as you're out there through each step of your business, through the process of duplication, whether you're at the invitation stage or whether you're at the present your business stage or whether you're doing the follow-up or whether you're determining gaining a positive decision, whether you're getting them started, as you're doing those steps, you're on your own because you're out there during the course of the week and you're doing it. If you do it incorrectly, it's live. It's actually going to cost you money because if you do it incorrectly and say, oh my goodness, if I would have just been a little bit better, if I would have just had my notes with me, if I would have just, I can see where I messed up. I can see where that's going to cost you. Tonight's format on this call is we're going to role play. We are literally going to interact and we're going to role play. Why? Because if you mess up tonight, you have nothing but a bunch of coaches, a bunch of colleagues, a bunch of other partners around to help encourage, to help motivate, to help fix. I'm going to be able to help coach you through where I think you need to be tuned up at. I want to address those areas. So it's okay to fall off the bicycle tonight on the call because it won't cost you a dime. In fact, it'll sharpen your blade so as you're out there during the course of the week, you already went through a few role plays. And let's be honest, how do you get gooder and gooder? I know that's not a word, but we use that sometimes. How do you get gooder and gooder at something? How do you get a little bit better and better? Just by practice. That's really all it is. It's just a little bit of practice, just a little bit of practice, just a little bit of practice. So that way, when you take the training wheels off, you've rode the bike so many times you don't even realize the training wheels are off. So we're going to role play tonight, and we're going to start as we go back to the beginning of our training, because as we went through the week last week and we went through the training, we wound up finishing on getting your new distributor started. There was a lot of material that was covered in that training. And that training, by the way, I get to see how many views that has, and I get to see how many minutes that has been watched, and it looks like it increases every single day. It increases every single day as we went through that week, even till today. It literally just shortly ago went from, I think, 1,000 minutes to like 1,200 minutes of view time. So it's constantly being viewed. Somebody's actually watching the content. Somebody's watching, which is good. If you're brand new and you're just joining in on the call and you missed some of those calls the previous week. So tonight, I'm going to ask for some volunteers. And this is going to be, listen, the volunteers are a total step up in leadership. This is because you want to get good at what you're doing. And you want to be the leader of your camp. You do not want your downline to be just a little bit sharper at it than you are. Same thing in an event. Like, you don't want your downline at a convention and they're telling you about it and you're not there. There's just certain principles. There's just certain basic things that you just want to make sure as leaders that we do, that we actually do. So we're going to get your notes out tonight. And I'm going to give you a minute or two to grab your notes, specifically step number 2 in the invitation process, how to invite people. And we went over all that stuff, how to invite people, but what we're going to do tonight is we're actually going to go over some of the different methods and some of the different invitation options that are available when you actually make those calls. Now, some of those would be the discovery invitation. If you remember correctly, we talked about that. We talked about the direct invitation. We talked about the business invitation. We talked about the My Story invitation. We talked about the Could You Do Me a Favor invitation. So we went through several different ways to invite. So what I want to do is we're going to pretend that we're having a live phone call right now. And I'm going to need to role play with someone. And then I want to change. I want to interact with a few people. Because what I want to do tonight is I want to engage you and I want to get you comfortable. And I know that you're nervous. And that's okay. Because I was nervous too. Very, 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 very nervous. I just didn't become very good overnight. It just became practice and just doing it over and doing it over and then getting a little bit better than I was yesterday, a little bit better than I was a week ago. And so that's what I'm wanting to do with you. I want to sharpen your blades for you. I want to, just get you a little bit better today than what you were yesterday. I want to get you a little bit better this week than what you were a week ago. And so I want to go through with you, and I want to start with the invitation option, starting with the discovery invitation. Now, I want you to use your script. I want you to use it as your cheat sheet. So, for example, what I want somebody to do is when talking to Bob, I want you to say, Bob, how's the economy affecting your business? I'm going to answer that question for you, and we're going to turn that into some dialogue. And I want you to follow through with your script right through that invitation process. And we're going to go through several of these. I would like to get several people to kind of interact together so it's not just one person, so we can actually go around so we can all benefit from this. And then I want to go through and hopefully kind of tell you, I think that was fantastic. You did that fantastic. If you fall off the bike, don't worry about it because it's not going to cost you any money tonight. In fact, if you fall off the bike, I'm sitting right here to pick you right up immediately and get you back on the bike and get you back down the road. So that's the way you need to look at it. This call is a block call just for the distributors alone, training call. This is where we sharpen the axe. All right. Don't everybody jump out at me at once because I need the very first volunteer. Who can I count on to be my very first volunteer tonight? Who's going to help me out? I need a volunteer.
Okay,
now, if I don't get a volunteer in 5 seconds, I'm just going to start calling names. Now, I know who's on the call because I want you guys to relax. Who was that? Sherry Denny?
Somebody else jumped out. I'm always willing to be noisy, but somebody else jumped out.
Let's start with you since we've got a good connection, got a fantastic connection. Now, who is this again?
This is Sharon.
Sharon?
But if there's somebody else out there.
Somebody else is going to get on here too, believe you me. We're going to go through the whole process. What I want you to do, Sharon, you have your notes in front of you where it says Discovery Invitation.
1 second. Page is that? I've got make the call, compliment, confidently, discovery. Got it.
Okay, fantastic. You are with me. Go to the bottom of that page right there. It says, when talking to Bob, you could ask. So what I want to do is I want to go through this discovery invitation. I want you to say, Bob, how's the economy affecting your business? And we're going to turn this in, and then you go to the next page, please ask him to elaborate. Then when its time is right, would you be open to diversifying your income? We're going to have that little conversation right now. Very short. We're just going to go through it. So go ahead.
All right. Hi, Bob. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How have you been?
Excellent, excellent. I was thinking about your business and what's been going on in the economy. And, I was just wondering, how's that been affecting you?
It's been crazy because, as you know, we have our plumbing company, for years and years and years, and it just seems like there's so many people on Craigslist all of a sudden that are plumbers and, all the unauthorized people out there, people not paying workman comp, people not paying insurance, people not paying, all the expenses that the legitimate guys have, like myself.
Wow.
It's just it's insane. It's really, really, it's a lot different. Let's put it that way. I mean, we're still, we still have our customer accounts, our commercial accounts, and we're still making it, but it's a harder ball game these days.
Wow. I hear you, Bob. It sounds like you've been kind of up against it a little bit. Are you getting tired of it, or are you feeling like you're ahead of the game? How are you really feeling in your heart about your business at this point?
Well, we've done it for 20 years. It's really the only thing I know. I kind of love what I do. I love, helping people out when they're, they got a problem and it looks like a mess or it's going to be a big issue. And I just like to take and give them a peace of mind and a good quality job at a fair price. And, we base our business hopefully on referrals and word of mouth. People that were happy with our service would recommend us to somebody else. So, I mean, my heart's still in the business. It's been a family-owned business now for 20 years. And, it's just a little challenging, sometimes, I guess, when you have your own business,
Boy, I hear that. And, as you're speaking, I realized that was kind of one of the reasons I was thinking about you, because you're a heart-centered guy, and you obviously really care about what you're doing. So part of what you love about it sounds like is that you're competent at your work and you make a difference in people's lives, and you love making a difference in that way. Is that true?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let me just throw something completely sideways to you, and just to ask you, if you could be expressing those same qualities, if you could be making a difference, helping people solve problems, and still be doing what you do in your current business, but diversify your income a little with something else that also made a difference in people's lives, would you be open to taking a look at it?
Possibly. I mean, I'm not sure if I would, what it would be or if I'd be interested or whatever, but, I guess I'm, open to diversifying my income a little bit. That wouldn't hurt right now.
I totally understand that. Because what I'm hearing, Bob, is that you still, it's been a family business. You're certainly not about to walk away from that. And I agree with that. And at the same time, it's getting harder. The income is not quite what it was. And part of why you love the family business is that you're making such a difference with the people and your clients and helping them. So without giving up any of that, I just wonder if you'd spend, if you have maybe 15 minutes now, to take a look at something that just might open your eyes to a different approach to adding another stream of income for you.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, I'll tell you what. Rather than me trying to explain it, what I'd like to do, you have a cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If it'd be okay with you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot you over a 15-minute video that's going to give you a very broad overview of a company that I'm working with. That, frankly, it took me by surprise that how heart-centered it was and what a difference it was making, and frankly, the amount of profit that was available for a reasonable amount of energy. So what I wanted to do is I'll shoot you over this 15-minute video, and if you've got time to watch it now, what I'll do is I'll call you back in about 20 minutes, and if it's okay with you, I'm going to bring on somebody who's frankly made about $500,000 since March, who can answer any questions you got. Would that be okay with you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
sure.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to shoot that over to you right now, and I'll call you back in about 20, 25 minutes.
Okay, great. All right. now let me give you, let's stop right there. First off, I applaud you for stepping up and having the nerve to actually go through that, because believe you me, I know that it's not easy, okay? I know that it's not easy. But because you're stepping up shows how bad you want to learn and how bad you want, you want this. And so I applaud you. So I'm going to give you some constructive tips, not criticisms. I'm going to give you some constructive tips on how to tighten that up just a little bit, okay? So number one, remember how busy everybody is. As we went through training, we talked about how busy everybody is. So overall, in the conversation, I would try and get that conversation a little bit tighter. In other words, I'd try and have a get on the phone and a get off of the phone kind of conversation, just so I'd tighten that up a little bit.
Right. I felt the same way.
The last part of the call is, I personally would never suggest that you lead the first video with a 14-minute video. Any company that leads with even a 6-minute video, an 8-minute video, a 10-minute video, very hard to do. Even though your prospect just said, yes, I'd diversify my income. Yes, I'm a little bit challenged right now. Even though everything else went perfect, he couldn't have answered the questions better. Exactly what you wanted. A lot of times, they're still busy. He could be home right now reading emails, but he's busy in his mind. A show could be coming on that he and his wife want to watch the news together, so he's busy. So remember how busy they are. If they click that button and it opens up and it says 10 minutes, there's a very large percentage of a chance that they're not truly going to watch that whole video. Now, we'll get an alert, and it'll say that he clicked on it. But what we won't know is, did he watch a minute of it, or did he watch 3 minutes of it, or did he watch the whole thing? I don't know. So my suggestion is that you start to drip on him and say, I'd like to send you the first video, which is literally only 2 minutes. There's a lot more to learn than just 2 minutes, but I just want you to see this one short 2-minute clip, because you're not going to believe what you see. Boom, and I send him the first video. Then once you get that click, then you can go and send a second video. Keeping it, I would suggest to keep it to the short video. Drip on him for a while with a few of the short videos. Last night, for example, I have a girl in another company. She's in a whole nother deal. And I sent her the video, and she watched that video. And it turned into a conversation, a dialogue with us. And then I sent her another video. And she thought our whole video prospecting campaign was amazing. I sent her another video. And ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Last night, at like 11 o'clock last night, it was ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. And I even told her before I sent her the videos, I was like, listen, nobody that's not interested will watch a video 3, 4, 5 times, let alone 6, 7, 8 times. It's just a matter of, are they interested in the product, are they interested in the business, or are they interested in both? Once you start getting the batings, you're going to start to have the validation. I would not suggest that anybody starts off with the first one being 14 minutes, because then when you send the second one or the third one, they may assume, I got time. Watch this 10-minute one here and 15-minute here. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, and frankly, I've never sent the 14-minute one first. What threw me is you're a plumber, you're a guy, and the 2-minute instantly ageless video feels like a total non sequitur to what you know and love. So as you were talking, it occurred to me that I would need to say a little bit more about the company before I sent the instantly ageless video. Would you agree with that? I just don't like to get into any conversation about the company, but to just throw out that video to a plumber, how, even if he's a good friend of mine, how would you do that?
That's why I was a plumber. That's why I specifically made sure. I have a girl, actually. She's a distributor for me. She lives here in my backyard. And I've just gotten beaten up by her about, man, I work with all the guys. I go down to the plumbing house. She does waterproofing, and she does water restoration work. and she deals with a lot of plumbers, and she's like, that's my market. How can I lead with that video? And it's just like, the guys don't care. Their skin's already this, their skin's already that. And my answer to her was this. I was like, let me ask you a question. Do any of those plumbers like money? Okay. Well, there's people in the company making $10,000 a month to $1 million a month. Do they like money? All right, I'm going to show you something. I don't want you to prejudge it. I just want you to see part of it. I would keep it short. I would just do that intro. Just do the intro. Just do the sizzle, the pop, the sizzle. They can always get that meat and potatoes. But I was the plumber in your conversation intentionally because I wanted
you wanted to throw me. I got it.
I wanted to address this with the whole group here tonight because you are going to deal sometimes with the blue-collar person. You are going to deal sometimes with the guy. And you're thinking to yourself, he's a guy? Like lead with Instantly Ageless? I'm a guy. I got led with Instantly Ageless. Wes is a guy. He ropes cattle, and lives in Texas. He, piqued his interest, not because he necessarily wanted
the money,
but he's seen an opportunity for some money, and then of course they're led into being more. So it kind of gets your head in a tent. It piques the curiosity. Remember, the tool is only supposed to pique the curiosity, pique the interest, and then get them to the next step. Other than that, I think you did a fantastic job on that. Let's go through the next one right now. If you're on the phone, and I want you to remember, try and be tight. George, how are things going with your job? Boom. I want you to run through with me right now on that one. So go ahead, Sharon, and go on that.
You want me to do it again?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Same right on this discovery.
Okay, well, let me read your little thing here, okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hey, George, how you doing? How are things going with your job? We haven't talked for a long time.
Oh my gosh, I just switched hospitals. I still work crazy hours because of being in nursing. I work the 12-hour. I work like 12-hour days. But there's so much demand right now in nursing, and I've just been so busy. It's crazy. I've just been working my tail off. I've been really, really busy. Wow.
So it sounds like you're working a bazillion hours, and you're kind of, and it's really getting to you. Let me ask you, off the record, okay, George, if I could show you a way that you could actually replace that income without changing what you're doing while you're doing it, without changing anything that you're doing, but add another stream of income so that you could replace that one and still be helping people, would you be open to taking a look at it?
I just don't know if I'd have any time for anything else with all the crazy hours that I'm working right now. Just with that, and then I got the kids, and the ball teams, are running a couple days a week with that. And my daughter's got dance, and I don't know if I have any time for anything else.
I totally get it. And that's, frankly, the reason that I want to show you this, George. You deserve to have a life. Wouldn't you like to have a little more time with your kids?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, what I'm going to show you will take you about 2 minutes to observe it, okay? And as you're looking at it, it's kind of, the reason I want to show you, I want to send you a little 2-minute video, and only if you're interested, but I want to send you this little 2-minute video of a kind of sizzle product that we have, and start your wheels turning while you're watching that video without changing anything that you're doing, just squishing it into your day without doing anything differently. Would it be of value to you to have a way of beginning to ease your way out of those 12-hour days and having more time for your life?
Oh, yeah. The only reason I'm working at 12-hour days and working so much is because of the money,
Yeah. Well, frankly, what attracted me into this, frankly, was the amount of money that's available, that's on the table for us to be earning. But in addition to that, having a solid company that's not going anywhere and products that everybody can use, that everybody wants. Frankly, I'm a little older than you are, and you know that. But when I saw this product in 2 minutes make me look 10 years younger, do you think there are people out there who want to look 10 years younger?
Yeah. What is it? Is it a pill, or is it a cream, or is it what is it?
Do you have 2 minutes right now that I can just shoot you over this video?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it over on your phone, and I'm going to call you back in 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, great.
All right. I'll talk to you in 5.
Okay. All right, fantastic job. I like the way when I tried to give you the objection, I literally said, I don't know. I'm too busy. I'm working 12 hours a day. I got Little League. I got my daughter's dance recital. I got this. This is the reality. This is what you hear. When you guys are on the phone with people, when you're talking to people, this is a real objection. This is like, I'm not giving you easy ones. That's not what we're here tonight for. Oh, yes, everything is perfect. Send me the videos. Oh, I like it. Yes, sign me up. Here's my Visa card number. No, that's not how it works out there. That's not how it works out there. So we want to get into some of the objections that you're actually going to get. Now, at the very end of that, I want you to get off of the phone with him a lot quicker. I just want you to say this. Just say, George, I know you're busy, and I'm busy too. It'll take you less than 2 minutes to make a decision if this makes sense.
Perfect. Thank you.
That
was perfect.
I know you're busy, and I'm busy too. Could I send you a text for 2 minutes to take a peek and tell me if it makes sense?
Okay. And tell me if it makes sense, or I want to make the date that I'm going to call him back in 5 minutes.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
You can do that.
Okay.
So, but my point is, close it out right there and
faster.
Get off
Yes.
the phone. Because he's busy.
Yes.
Because he is busy, and I already used that as my objection. I tried to use that as my objection, because if he thinks he's got to go into talking people in and why they should do it and all this stuff, if they start to hear that, if you start to go down that road, sometimes it's hard to get off that road.
Yes.
So what you want to do is you want to stay short and crisp. You want to tell him, man, I understand you being busy. There's one thing that we'll never get any more of, and that's time. There's only 7 days in a week. There's only 24 hours in a day. And believe you me, I understand when you say you're busy. Let me ask you a question out of curiosity. If you won one of those Powerballs, you won $300 million, what would you do? I'm just curious. What would you do? One of the direct questions I have for you is, would you still be working 12 hours a day in nursing? Or would you maybe back out, even if you love nursing, maybe still do it, but you'd back out and spend more time with your kids?
Yep.
If I had something that I knew could replace that income and give you the time freedom that you're looking for, that you really would want to do, spend more time with the kids, but not hinder the income, would you take a look at something for 2 minutes and let me know what you think?
Yeah.
Does
Way
that make
better.
sense?
Yes,
Okay.
That was awesome.
So it's short, it's powerful, it's uplifting. You hit his area of sensitivity. Remember, in the training, I said you're going to try to identify a need, a pain, or a concern as you're listening to your prospect. You want to identify the need, the pain, or the concern. When this guy tells you on the phone how busy he is, that's a concern.
Yep. So I was going through the casinos the other day, talking to blackjack operators that were standing there with nobody at their table, looking miserable. They're, like they were moving on their feet, and coming up with this time objection, and it didn't, and got nowhere. So and yet there was a clear identifiable pain that they were working too many hours and they had no time. So, and these were strangers. They weren't people that I knew. So it could just be, none of them were appropriate, which is fine. But I wonder how, if you were having a conversation with the blackjack operator, how you might do it differently.
And first off, I'm going to build a rapport with them first. I'm not going to, just like everybody, that's the secret sauce.
Right.
You build the conversation. So let's just say I'm in Vegas. So how long have you been in Vegas? How long have you lived here?
Yep,
really?
that was what I did. We got their history, their kids, why they were doing that.
So then let me ask you a question. So I'm just curious. Do you do blackjack because of the money, or do you do it just because you love to do it?
I do it because it's a job, and I need a job. Yeah.
Okay, so you need the
money.
And
I've been doing it forever, and
You've been doing it forever.
Yeah, it's familiar. I know the game. It's familiar.
Well, how long have you been here?
20 years.
20 years. How many days a week do you work?
5.
5 days a week for the past 20 years. Do you own the place? See, now that's what I wanted right there. That's what I wanted. There was right there. So I wanted that to happen because, see, you just now laughed by default. That's what I want him to do, or I want her to do. I want her to look at me and crack that smile. I want to break them right then and there. I want them to smile. I want them to laugh like, yeah, I wish. Like, well, let me ask you a question. 20 years, 5 days a week. What are you going to do the next 20 years? Hit the area of pain. You're going to come up with a solution, but soften them with that area of pain. What are you going to do for the next 20 years? Do you think you're going to still be a blackjack dealer? Do you have any other desires, inspirations, anything you're passionate about, or do you pretty much think you're going to stay in blackjack? This is just an exploratory question.
Yeah, I actually, I'm planning to retire in 3 years. I'm going to take a year and do nothing, and meanwhile, I take care of my grandkids, and I leave here and I go home and I take care of my grandkids. 3 years. If you ask me this 3 years from now, I might be open to a conversation, but right now, this is what I do. This is I don't mind working hard. I'm used to it.
That's fantastic. So how many grandkids do you have?
I have 2 that are actually living with me.
Wow, they're living with you. So let me ask you a question. I'm just curious. If you happen to be one of the lucky people that happen to win one of those Powerballs or Mega Millions, and you won it tomorrow, would you still do blackjack for the next 3 years, or would you spend more time with the grandkids? Which one are you more passionate about?
I'd be with the grandkids. I'd quit in a heartbeat.
You're sure? You didn't even hesitate when you answered that question. You were like, I would be with the grandkids. There's no question about it. That's what I would do. So let me ask you a question. If you had a vehicle, not a Powerball ticket, but if you had something that could be like that could literally replace an income, add to your income, give you time freedom, give you choices. You didn't have to work as hard. I know you don't mind working as hard. But at the end of the day, if you make $50,000 a year and the guy next to you makes 50, but he's on the beach drinking pina coladas for his 50, and you're sitting here sweating your butt off, it's just not fair. Would you agree?
That's not fair. I agree.
Absolutely. It's not fair, right? So let me ask you a question. If there was a vehicle that could give you the time freedom, if there was a vehicle that could literally replace the income, so when you did retire in 3 years from now, you'd actually have a residual income. If there was something out there that could do that for you, would you like to take a peek at it to see if it would make sense? And if you wouldn't like to take a peek at it, you're not going to hurt my feelings at all because I'm already doing fine. I just heard what you were talking about wanting to spend more time with your grandkids. You're working here for 20 years. 5 days a week. You're a hard worker. I appreciate people that do that. This may or may not be for you. I don't know. I can't prejudge it, but I'd be open to sharing it with you.
I hear you, and I'm just not open right now. I'm
that's
just
perfectly
not.
fine. And
Yeah.
I tell you what, we liable to cross paths again in 3 more years. And like you said, at that point in time, you might be open.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, we're still going to be in business. So, listen, it was a pleasure meeting you, Sharon. It really was. Like, I hope that, as we go into the end of this year, with the holidays and stuff with your grandkids, everything is fantastic, and Thanksgiving will be here, and they'll be out trick-or-treating before you know it, and hope to see you around, because I hope to be back through here, and it was just nice meeting you. And
Right.
I'll leave with a very positive, upbeat, pleasurable. I don't want it to seem dry, or I don't want to see like, oh, so you're not interested. Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I just moved. No, I want to have a relationship with the guy. Sometimes people test you just to see how you deal with rejection. Let me give you an example. Sometimes people are going to say no, even when they want to say yes. Let's talk about the Powerball winner for a moment tonight in training. Let's pretend that, Sharon, you won $300 million tomorrow. And the first thing you wanted to do is you wanted to go buy a red Ford pickup truck. You knew you wanted red. You knew you wanted it to be a Ford. And you knew you wanted it to be a 2015. And you knew you wanted the floor mats, et cetera. You already knew. You're walking in the dealership. That's what you're going there for. And you have plenty of money in the bank right now. In fact, you could buy the whole dealership, but you're not going to tell that to the guy. You know you're going in for a red Ford pickup truck. Now, let's be honest here, guys. When Sharon sits down and says, I want the truck, and she takes it for a test drive, and she comes back out, and the guy comes around and says, this is what we could sell it to you for, what does Sharon say 9 times out of 10 to the very first offer? What'd she say?
Is that the best offer you can give me?
Yeah, or you're sitting there saying, nah, I don't know. I'm unsure. I don't know if I should, is that not going to come with, the Sirius radio that I want, or is that not going to, the trade-in don't look like it's good enough, or, what would you take for cash? I guarantee you are not going to say to him, oh, okay, yeah, sign me up. Even though you walked in there to buy a red Ford pickup truck, you are going to tell that guy no, or you don't know, or you're unsure. It's a game. Why do people play the game? I don't know why they play the game. I'm just telling you that they play the game. Just open your eyes and watch. That's what people do. When you present people with a business, sometimes they're just going to say no. They're just going to say no. People normally need to say no several times before they actually say yes. It's just a fact. So sometimes people are going to say no to you the first time. They're going to say no to you the second time. They're going to say no to you the third time. In our business, all we want to do is be able to follow back up with people. When you end the conversation on the no with one of your prospects, this is what you do. You say, Sharon, I appreciate your decision, and it's perfectly fine, and I certainly wish you the best. And I hope you spend all the time that you can with your grandkids. Would it be okay with you if I'm driving back by, or if we cross paths again and it's 6 months, can I just touch base with you and just tell you how I'm doing? Or can we just keep in touch occasionally, maybe once or twice a year? Would that be okay with you? If that's all you ended it with was that right there, you have a lead that stays in your phone. You have a lead that stays in your portfolio. You have someone that every 6 months you can say hello to. You can friend them on Facebook. You can send them messages all year long, from their birthday to Happy New Year. I hope you have a fantastic Memorial Day. Whatever. You now are going to stay in touch with that person and drip on them. That's how you get the no's to turn into the yeses. It's a matter of timing, and it's not going to be the right time right then and there for every single person. So we love the no, because some say yes, some say no, and we're on to the next person. Sharon, I think you did a great job.
Thanks. Role playing is actually, it's a different kind of a challenge than doing it in real life, and in some ways it's almost harder because you have some entree that you've had with the person when you have them in real life. But I really appreciate it because it catches me off guard, and I know I need to tighten up, and I know that, and I hear what I also heard in what you did, Bob, was the people call you Bob or Rob?
Rob.
Rob. Okay.
Rob, yeah.
What I heard was your posture, your clarity, your own conviction, and that's why you were able to do it so fast. And that's really the piece of tightening up. And the more we do it, the stronger it gets and the better it gets. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So that's very important what you just now touched on, because I said it in training last week, and I'll repeat it for you right now. People hear your music.
Yep.
It's not just the words. They hear your music. They can feel the excitement. When you're on the phone with somebody and you're excited about something, you're passionate about something, they're going to want to know more. Sometimes they just want to know what you're excited about. They may not be interested, but they just want to know, man, Rob, he is fired up.
Right.
I wonder what's going on.
And I felt like that with in the casinos. I actually felt like my the practice for me and the posture and the strength that was there, and the clarity was that they weren't open, the people that I was talking to. But I also there was one person who I might have been able to get info to have an ongoing, but the one I was just telling you about, she really wasn't open. But it's just good to get those no's and to keep being in the practice, because all it does is strengthen my conviction.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, we're all going to get no's, every one of us. I get no's all the time. In fact, the person on this call that gets the most no's will likely develop the largest organization. That's the truth. The person that gets the most no's will likely develop the largest organization, because they got the most no's, so they have to have the most yeses.
Yep.
If you go all month long and you only got 3 no's, well,
you're not talking to those people.
You're not doing anything. So you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the person that's getting no'd out all day long. No. And finally you get a yes. No. Finally you get a yes. That's it. I don't worry about talking about the no's. I just want to talk about the yeses. That's all I want to talk about. I focus on those, because I don't let those no's really affect my attitude, because the attitude's everything. Your attitude is everything. And you can't take that. I want you to remember this. Listen, if you were a band and you were going on tour city to city to city, after you do your first tour, after you do your first city, and then you go to your second one, and then you get to your third one, you're worn out. I mean, this is like getting old hat for you. But the third and the fourth city deserve the same exact performance as the first city. You have to have the same passion. You have to have the same excitement. You have to have the same performance, because those people deserve you at your best.
That's what Michael Jordan used to say.
Yes. Every time you go on the field, every time you're going your games, every time you make your next call, every time you're at your next meeting, every time you're at your next appointment, you have to be your very best, because that's what they deserve, and you never know who it's going to be. You never, ever know. And so don't let yourself get beat up. Don't give the third person less than you gave the first person, just because the first two gave you no's, and by the time you're on the third or fourth one, you're thinking, well, let me ask you a question. If you could have a minute, would I give you, boom, and you're reading off the script, it's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Hell no, I wouldn't want to do that. They're ready to hang up the phone. All right, fantastic. All right.
Thank you.
Next volunteer, direct invitation. I want to go over the direct invitation. Right now, who is going to go through with me? We're going to role play it right now. Direct invite. Who's stepping it up? Who's stepping it up? I need a helper. I can't do it all by myself.
I'm sorry, I just got on the line a few minutes ago, so I'm not sure exactly. I understand we're doing rolls, but
Can you hear me, Rob?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear two people. Sherry,
This is Sherry.
I'm going to put you on hold
Yeah.
for 1 second because somebody else was talking, but it was a little bit of a distance. I want to get their name. They just now joined us on the line. Who was that talking before Sherry came in?
this is Monica in Alaska.
Monica in Alaska. So great. So, okay, Monica in Alaska. Do you have your notes with you for the direct invitation?
No, I do not. I
Okay.
I had a late day at work, and I'm actually in the car driving, and I put you on my speakerphone as soon as I got in the car.
Okay, well, keep us on your speakerphone. I'm glad you joined in tonight. Without your notes, you're probably not going to be able to walk through that, and we're going to have that discussion.
Oh.
And since you're driving down the road, I definitely don't want to be the cause of you having any type of incident.
I will just
So,
will listen and take it all.
leave us on, like the radio will be playing. I want you to listen in on the call. Thank you for stepping up.
Well,
I would
Thank
love to engage with you when either you're settled in or in another call when you can. Absolutely
For
love
sure.
to actually have that, Monica.
thank you.
Sherry Denny, are you back?
Yeah. Can you hear
Sherry
me?
Denny, yes, I can hear you. Let's get to the
Okay,
invite, the direct invitation.
Oh my gosh, this is the one I use all the time.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay, so you want me to just go ahead and do it? Just start?
I want you, it's just like you called me up on the phone,
Yeah.
and you and I are going to go through a conversation.
Okay. Hey there, Rob. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, other than it weather changed over here in Baltimore kind of quickly in the last week. It started getting kind of cold.
Oh, come on, Rob. Don't tell me about getting cold. I'm up here in Alaska. Hey, I
wasn't even thinking about that, but you're right? You're in
Yeah.
Alaska, right? I'm talking to you about
Yeah,
cold
you
weather.
totally did that on purpose. Hey, I only have a minute, but I just wanted to give you a call. I've been thinking about you a lot lately here. And what's your schedule look like this week? I want to know if we can meet. Now, it's going to be a phone call, so
you
I
want
have
to
something I wanna chat with
schedule?
you about.
Okay, you want to talk to me on the phone? I could probably do it on Wednesday, actually.
Okay, we're talking 2 days away.
Yeah, Wednesday, because today's Monday. So, yeah, Wednesday's good. Tomorrow I got a pretty crazy schedule, but Wednesday I got some free time.
Okay, you know what? That's pretty cool. But I'm telling you, this is so hot. Are you sure you're not going to be able to get with me together with me on the phone just for a couple minutes tomorrow?
If
It's
it was
that
late in the
serious.
evening like this time, if we could talk like around 9 or 10, I could.
That is perfect. So I'm going to give you a call tomorrow night between 9 and 10-ish. That's my best time as well. And we'll get together then, and I just want to blow your mind for just a few seconds, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rob. Talk to you later, Mark.
Okay. Thanks, Sherry. All right. Now, that was a direct. That was a short. Now, let me ask you a question because I need to explore this with you, Sherry, since you're using this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since you're going to set up the chat with him tomorrow, when you would call me tomorrow, say at 9 o'clock or say at 10 o'clock, how would that conversation go? Because I haven't had a tool or anything to look at, or I don't know what we're going to talk about, so I haven't seen anything yet, correct?
Exactly, and I don't want you to.
Okay, great.
Exactly.
No, that's why
I don't want you
I
to.
want everybody to
Mm-hmm.
hear this. I want to go through so people know. So when we talk tomorrow, tell me how that conversation goes.
Okay,
Let's
so
walk
tomorrow
through
I
that.
give you okay, and so I'm calling you up. Hey, Mark, this is Sherry. I am so glad you answered your phone. How are you doing?
Oh, great. It was a crazy day today, but glad, to be a little bit relaxed right now, and just got done having dinner and watching some TV and just relaxing.
Really good. Well, remember yesterday I spoke to you about something that I want to talk to you about that's just going to blow your mind? It did mine. Yeah. And, okay, I want to ask you if I could send you a real quick 90-second video while I'm on the phone with you right now. And you're not going to believe what happens in the first 30 seconds of this video. I'm gonna actually stay on the phone. I'm gonna send it to you right now, and because I want to hear your reaction. Are you up for that?
Well, yeah, you can send it to me. I'll just put you on speaker, and then I'll pull my phone away and look at it.
Perfect. That's what I want to do. So right at that moment, I send it to him, and I wait about 30 seconds, and I wait for the because it usually happens.
Oh, of course.
Then. Yeah, and then when they're done, I just go, oh, okay. So what did you like best about that, or what really got your attention? So you've seen it.
I just can't believe that really worked. You know, you're going to get all those feedback. Is that for real?
Yep.
You know, I can't believe it really worked. Oh my gosh, you know, whatever. They're gonna feedback something positive.
Yeah, well,
okay, Jerry Denny.
What?
That was fantastic. That actually was very that direct invitation is just what it is. It's direct. So it's very short, it's very precise. For those listening, you can see how Sherry just got literally like right to the point. I just, you know, hey Mark, how are you? I just have a minute. I wanted to give you a call. You know, wanted to see when I could jump on the phone with you in the next 48 hours. You know, like when do you have 5 minutes we could chat? That's what she did. It was a direct invitation. She did a fantastic job. It was short. I like the fact that when she's on the phone right now with him doing the follow-up, that she's literally sending the tool right away, and she's actually staying on the phone while he watches it. Because it is 90 seconds. You know, people are going to see this thing in less than 2 minutes. That's fantastic. Sherry, go into the next direct invitation with Mary.
Okay. Oh, this is always a tough one. I love this. Hey, Mary, how you doing?
Good. How you been?
I was going to say, can you actually act like Mary, Rob?
I would love that.
Sure, I can.
Hey, Mary, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
You know what, Mary? I've been thinking about you for a while. I've got a short minute here, but I have some information I'd like to kick around with you. When would you be able to get together this week to talk, and preferably actually within the next couple of days?
Well, actually, Wednesday is a good day for me in the afternoon time. If you wanted to maybe grab lunch at Panera or something like that, Wednesday afternoon is probably my best day this week.
You know, I just happen to be in your area, and Wednesday sounds like a really good day for me. What time?
How's noon time? Noon, 1, something like that?
Noon lunch? Let's do that. Just be prepared to get your socks blown off, okay?
Okay.
All right. So
fantastic.
I'll meet you at noon at
fantastic.
Panera, okay?
Short, sweet. All it was is an invitation. Remember, there's no demonstration. There's no talking about the products. There's no talking about the company. There's no talking about nothing over the phone. All you're doing is a simple invite, a simple invitation. You're using the phone to schedule an invite or to send a tool. That's it. There's 2 ways that you can do this: presentation or tool. So you're using the phone in these invitation calls simply to do the invite. Sherry, wonderful job. Who's next? Who's going to go over with me one of the business invitations? Who's stepping up right now? I need a volunteer. You can't be driving your car, but if you got that script in front of you, I want to walk through it with you.
Yeah.
Anybody else out there?
Rob, I'm trying to find those invitations. Where are those? You said to download them, but I don't know where from.
Okay. you can go to the Facebook community page, and on the Facebook community page, I put a thing on there that says workbook, download. You just have to scroll down the page because there's plenty other posts that came in since I posted that. But that download is available right there on that Facebook community page, on the Jeunesse Success Team page. You'll be able to print that off. Download it, print it off.
Okay, because I'm on that right now, and I've just been trying to find it.
It's there.
Okay, well, I'll find it then. Thank you.
Okay. No problem at all. Who was that? Who was I just chatting with?
Bill Maybauer out of Olympia, Washington.
Bill, if you can't find that there, send me an email to robpottles@examinemydna.com, and I will send you the file in an email. If you cannot find it on the Facebook community page, or for some reason you're unable to download it, just send me an email to robpottles@examinemydna.com, and I will email you the file directly to your email, and you'll have it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. How about the business invitation? Who's going to role play with me? Don't be
I'll
shy.
role play with you. I'll role play with you, Rob, but I would have to work off of improv.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Business invitation. So let me go through the business invitation, and I'll hit you with an objection. So you're on the phone with a friend. You're talking about their son's soccer team that's playing in a championship, and you're just catching up on how things are going. This is the circumstances. Then when the timing is right, you would say, I just have another minute, but I wanted to let you know there's going to be a small group of us getting together at my home Thursday night to kick around some ideas on starting a new business. I've got a lot of respect for you, Joe, and thought you may want to join us. Would you like to be included? All you're trying to do, this is a business invitation. You're going to start a conversation. In this particular thing, you're talking about the Sun Soccer Championship, etc. And then when the timing's right, you're going to say, I only have about another minute, but I wanted to let you know that there's going to be a small group of us getting together at my home Thursday night to kick around some ideas on starting a new business. I've got a lot of respect for you, edify the person a little bit, and thought you might want to join us. Would you like to be included? That's the role play. We're going to go through that. So you go ahead, and I'll say hello. Hello.
Okay, so I'm just repeating everything you said, so it's not really improv.
You can go with your thing. I just didn't know if you wanted to.
No. I get the.
Bullet, so.
No. It's okay. What is it?
Maybe it's
hey,
me.
Rob, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How you been?
Buddy.
Long time.
Yes, it's been a long time. I see he's getting better on the field. You should be proud.
Been working our tail off.
Oh, that's awesome. How's business?
Business has been good. We've been busy. Guess getting ready for the fall. Right now, it's a slower time for us, but had a busy summer.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I wanted to let you know I totally respect you as a business person, and when organizing a get-together about a upcoming great opportunity, I got together with some friends and a few that you may know, and your name came up. I would love it if you can stop by just to hear some information about this business opportunity, letting you know that you're open to join us. It's going to be Saturday, 3 p.m. How soon do you think you came back to me to let me know if you can attend or not?
Well, let me ask you a question. What is the business?
It is life-changing, revolutionary science. I'm sure you can find value in it. I would have to go through the presentation with you so you can get all of the nooks and crannies of the business, because I know you're a serious business person. And I don't want to rush through any details with you. I want to be able to present it to you in a proper way, because I know you're busy, and we will never, ever be able to touch all of the variables of the business right now, because I have to go. The kids are going crazy in the car.
Okay. All right. Let's stop right there for just a second. So I'm going to stop. Where we are right now, and I know that she doesn't have her script.
Not at all. I'm like, what's going on?
Exactly. So I want to put everybody in right now. Now, this is what would happen when you have your tool in front of you. As soon as that guy would have said, well, what business is it, or what is it? You could have said, hey, Bob, rather than getting into the details over the phone, I'd prefer if you reviewed the information I'm going to send you. It was designed to provide a professional overview of the business, and it does a fantastic job. Then if you have an interest in learning more, we can sit down and kick around some ideas and review any remaining questions that you'd have. Would that be okay with you? Smooth, right? Or you could have said, Bob, when I was first introduced to the business, I had a lot of questions, and you will too. If you don't mind, I've asked you to review some information I'm going to send you. It's so impressive. It's designed to give you a professional overview of the business. Then, if you're interested in learning more, we can get together and discuss it in greater detail and go over all your questions. Would that be okay with you?
Gotcha.
Or I could have said, Bob, I prefer not to get into details over the phone. You really need to see what we're doing. A small group of us are getting together Saturday at 3 o'clock. My business partner will provide an overview of the business, which will include some visuals and help you grasp the market potential for what it is that we're doing. When he's done, we can talk private about any remaining questions you may have. I think you'll really like what you see. Would you like to be included?
Yes, I would.
Remember the key words. Would you like to be included? There was your hook. There was your critical hook right there. See, I threw her off when I said, well, what is it? And then because she didn't have the script in her hand, she tried her best. But she started saying, well, it's kind of like science. It's kind of like revolutionary. It's kind of epic. It's kind of this. So all of a sudden, to this guy, it starts to sound a little bit over his head, or he's unskilled. Maybe he doesn't know about science. He doesn't have a science background. He's wondering, like, would this be a fit for him? Or he starts to think, like, it's revolutionary. It's this, it's that. Oh, I've heard that shit a dozen times. They start to backpedal. They just get turned off, because when we answer those questions, that's exactly why every one of us, including myself, that I don't get on the phone unless I'm totally armed with this right in my lap, because I'm ready. I am so ready for this dude to fire off his questions. It's almost like being a judge behind the desk for the last 20 years, and I'm hearing traffic cases. Do you honestly think that somebody's going to tell me something today that I haven't heard for the last 20 years?
So true. Mm-hmm.
Highly unlikely, okay? Highly unlikely that they're going to say. When you're doing phone calls out, or you're speaking to people, or you're inviting, after a while, you'll feel like the judge that sat behind traffic court for the last 10 years. You've heard it all. I don't know if I have time. I'm kind of busy. What is it? There's only so many objections that there is, and then that's it. And when you have the perfect answers to how to address those, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. The results are like day and night. Remember, I used the example, if you walked into a restaurant on a busy Saturday night and you asked the hostess, how long is your wait time? She could either tell you an hour to an hour and a half and throw a bucket of ice in your face, or she could say it's only 60 to 75 minutes. Exactly. How many's in your party? Which one sounded better? We have to be Absolutely. You're borrowing money. You're in a furniture store. You say, how much is the interest rate? It's $60 a month. How much is the interest rate? The person answers it wrong. God bless his soul. He says 18%. The person that knows how to answer the objection says it's only 1.5% a month on the unpaid balance. You can pay it off anytime you like. There's no prepayment penalty. And it's only $2 a day. It's $60 a month. And then all of a sudden the person's like, oh, shit, that's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same answer. It's 18%. But which one sounded better? So what we're learning tonight, fantastic job for being on the fly, for absolutely not having anything in front of you, probably being the newest distributor, remember, of everybody that's actually on the call. Thank you for stepping up and actually going through there. But as you can see, as we're going through these tonight and we're practicing, each time we go through, we'll sharpen our blade. We'll sharpen our blade. We'll get a little better. We'll get a little better. Are we going to get perfect? Probably not. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to get a little better, a little better, a little better. And each time you do this, you'll get a little better. Before you know it, a year will go by. 6 months will go by, and you'll look back 6 months ago and say, oh, my gosh, 6 months ago, somebody would ask me that. I'd have freaked out. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd start babbling off the mouth, and I wouldn't even know where to go. But now when they ask me that, I know it like the back of my hand.
If I could just be half as good as you, then I will be good, really good.
Listen, I'm not even good. I'm just.
Oh, yes, you are, honey. Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, yes. I'm a good copycat. I just make sure I copy the right cat. That's all. So that's my suggestion. I'm telling you guys this. Absolutely, I love tonight's call because I wanted it to be interactive. I wanted us to be uncomfortable. I wanted us to get uncomfortable tonight. I wanted us to do something together, exercise together that you normally would feel like a little bit awkward. Because if you can do this in front of your peers, the people that know that you fell off the wagon, the people that know you kind of really didn't do it right, the fact of the matter is that when you're sitting down with Joe, anything you say to Joe is going to be right because he doesn't know any better. You could be completely wrong, and that poor guy doesn't even know because you can't mess up really with him, except you'll critique yourself when you're done the call. You'll critique yourself after the presentation. You'll critique yourself after you're gaining a positive decision. You'll know when you fell off the wagon. You'll know what you did wrong. You'll know where the rust is because you'll be getting better. And this is how we get better. We're going to get better together. So when we do it together on these calls, we're together to support each other, to pick you back up, to put you back on the bike, to actually sharpen your blade. And so we've been about an hour and 15 minutes, and that's going to be a wrap. If anybody's got a question, anybody else on the call tonight have a question, thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you guys and gals for stepping up.
It's embarrassing, but it was great.
Absolutely embarrassing. Are you kidding me? But I will say this. Whoever Sherry is, Rob,
yes,
she has
Sherry
the most
Denny.
she has the most, that's the one from Alaska, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, she has the most inviting voice that is made for sales anyway. So I think, in truth be told, that's why she did so well.
I think she's very talented. She's absolutely a very people-oriented person, very, very talented. And
yeah.
I think the sky's not even the limit for Sherry Denny. And the sky's not the limit for any of us that's actually on this call. Even the person that would be on this call tonight, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm probably, out of everybody on the call, I'm probably the one that's probably the weakest right now today at this. It doesn't matter. What matters is where are you going to be at in 30 days, in 60 days, or 90 days. It doesn't matter where you are today. It does matter, however, that you are coachable, that you just are coachable, and that you'll actually listen to the people that know how to do it. They know how to swim. They're professional. They can swim very good themselves, and therefore they'll be able to teach you how to swim. Remember, when you go to a drowning man and ask for swimming lessons, They can't teach you to swim no better than they know how to swim because they don't know how to swim either. So it's very, very important that if you're sitting on the call tonight, you're thinking to yourself, I'm the weakest bulb on the whole tree. I'm the one that's probably got the most to learn. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. What matters is next week. What matters is 30 days. What matters is none of us were born and our mom held us in her arms and said, oh, look at Rob. He's going to be so good at whatever it is. That's just not the way you're born. It just doesn't happen that way. It doesn't matter what you do. So we're going to get gooder and we're going to get gooder. We're going to get better and better as we walk through the process and as we train. We're going to motivate each other. We're going to coach each other. We're going to struggle together. I'm telling you, this is not easy. If it was easy, every Tom, Dick, and Harry would be an all-star at it, okay? It's not easy. It's simple to learn. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You have to get good at it, just like you would get good at anything. When you're determined in your head that you're going to succeed, you're going to get good at it. There's no reason that I can't be decent at doing this. This is not rocket science. That's the attitude that you have to have. There's no reason that somebody is going to be twice as good as me, okay? You can be a little bit better than me. You may run faster than me, type faster than me, do whatever, but there's no way if all things are equal that you should be twice as good as me, not 2 times, 3 times. It's unacceptable. That's the mindset that we each have to have on the call. And and that's what we're going to do. We're use this platform. We're going to use these calls. I'm going to coach you, teach you. I'm going to motivate you and educate you. I'm the edutainer. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to motivate you the best I can, okay, in the process to get to where you want to go. All right?
Oh, thank you so much. You just made me spit out my tea, dude.
Hey,
right.
Rob, I know
but
that.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you, guys. You fire me up. You fire me up. You're why I'm here. You're why I'm here.
Thank you. Bye.
Hilarious.
Hey, Rob,
Thank
this
you.
is Bill again. I sent you an email.
Okay, buddy. I'm going to respond to you right now. Give me 10
Okay,
minutes.
thank you.
Rob,
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, give me a call when you get done.
I sure will.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
okay, good
Good night.